You're watching Left, Right and Centre. I'm Nidhi Razdan. Tonight, Sushma Swaraj hits back at those who oppose Yoga Day, says Muslim countries also backed India's resolution at the United Nations. Is the opposition to Yoga Day unwarranted? Is yoga really about religion? And the standoff between the AAP government in Delhi and the centre worsens as the Delhi law minister is arrested for allegedly faking his degrees. Was this fair or is this vendetta politics? That's coming up in about 30 minutes from now. But we begin the show tonight with this breaking story. The Army and the Air Force have hit back following the Manipur massacre that left 18 Indian soldiers dead. The Indian Army, along with the Air Force, has carried out counter-attacks inside Myanmar. The Army, in a briefing, said that this was along Myanmar's border, but we understand that, in fact, the operation was carried out at least a couple of kilometers inside the borders of Myanmar, and there are a significant number of casualties that have been reported on the militants' side. Well, this is an unprecedented operation, one that has involved the Army as well as the Air Force. We're just going to get more details from that with my colleague Sudhir Ranjan Sen, particularly on the number of casualties. It is understood that there have been more than 50 militant casualties as a result of this joint operation that's been carried out by the Army and the Air Force. Sudhir now joins us with more on that. Sudhir, what more can you tell us about this? And quite significant that this seems to have taken place within the territory of Myanmar.
Well, what the reports that we are getting, Nidhi, right now is from our sources that they're indicating the casualties could be about 50 and likely to go up. We have been able to confirm that the operations took place both across the Nagaland border and across the Manipur border. In Nagaland, it happened across in the Twengsang district in a place from Nokluk, and in Manipur, what we are being told is in a place across or in and around a place called Chasad, that is in Ukhrul district. Camps have been hit in the Manipur camp that in the camps that were hit across or near the Manipur-Myanmar border. We are told that there were activists or terrorists rather from the PLA, the NSCN-K, the KYKL and the UNLF. On the other hand, in the NSCN in Nagaland, the main camp that was hit had NSCN-K cadres. Also, one of the key figures who's suspected to be behind this entire attack, Starsang Lamkang, the finance minister, so to say, the self-proclaimed finance minister of NSCN-K, we understand or we are being told may have been injured in this attack. Nidhi.
All right, Sudhir Ranjan Sen, thanks a lot for that important update. There'll be much more on this story in our subsequent programming as well. Well, moving on to our first big debate tonight, Foreign Minister Sushma Swaraj today hit back at Muslim groups like the Muslim Personal Law Board who have criticized Yoga Day. She said that many Muslim countries, those belonging to the OIC or the Organization of Islamic Countries, had supported India's resolution at the United Nations. In fact, they co-sponsored it. The Muslim Personal Law Board had opposed the Surya Namaskar in particular, but the government has clarified that this is not compulsory. The question then is whether this whole controversy has been overblown.
कई कट्टरपंथी ताकतों ने कहा कि योगा गैर इस्लामिक है, सूर्य नमस्कार इस्लाम के विरुद्ध है। इस मानसिकता से क्या आपको लगता है कि योग दिवस को राजनीति में घसीटने का प्रयास हो रहा है?
कि मैंने अपने प्रारंभिक वक्तव्य में ही बता दिया कि शायद वो जानकारी के अभाव में ऐसी बात कह रहे हैं। अगर उन्हें ये मालूम होता कि 47 मुस्लिम देशों ने, वो भी वो देश जो OIC के मेंबर्स हैं, उन्होंने को स्पॉन्सरशिप दी है, मतलब केवल समर्थन नहीं दिया, वो इसके सह प्रायोजक बने हैं, तो शायद वो ये बात कभी नहीं कहते।
Well, is this entire controversy around Yoga Day unwarranted? Joining us on the program tonight, Mr. Kamal Farooqi, who is the founder, executive member of the All India Muslim Personal Law Board. We have Sadia Delvi, well-known writer, joining us here in the studio. She loves yoga, she practices yoga and doesn't believe that it is anti-Islamic in any way. Pooja Bedi joins us tonight from Mumbai as someone who loves yoga herself and has been following this controversy quite closely. And of course, Samit Patra back with us tonight from the BJP. Let me take this question first to you, Pooja Bedi. Are you surprised at how controversial all of this has become and the kind of storm that it has raised?
Honestly, Nidhi, I'm not surprised because in India we see religion being brought into just about anything nowadays. It is so easy to create a controversy in the name of religion because religion is so subjective and open to interpretation. And the unfortunate part is it is open to interpretation even by stupid people. How can breathing and stretching be anti-religious in any manner? I mean, it's the most absurd, illogical statement to make. Yes, there are a series of exercises that you may consider questionable, but even that again is open and subject to interpretation. For example, you say the Surya Namaskar is offensive to our religious sentiment. And I think about it and I tweet and I say, how can it be offensive to religious sentiment? Because if Allah is the creator of everything and Allah has created the sun and you're saying good morning to the sun and you're saying good morning to his creation, how can that be anti-religious? I mean, anything is open to interpretation. You can, for example, turn around and say, just to give you an example, Nidhi, you can turn around and say, Allah determines everything. Allah is in charge of everything. Therefore, if you fall sick and have cancer, Allah has willed for that to happen. So how dare you go to a doctor to get treatment because Allah has determined you must get cancer. I mean, you can come up with absurd logical arguments like that also in the name of religion because it is so subject to interpretation.
I'll take that point to Kamal Farooqi, who is listening with a smile on his face. And the point that Pooja Bedi makes is that why should everything be given a religious tinge? And what Sushma Swaraj said today, when the Organization of Islamic Countries, when so many Muslim countries have supported this resolution for Yoga Day, why should Muslim groups in India have a problem with it?
As far as Pooja is concerned, she's right that why at all these things should be taken into the religious manner itself. And for this we are not the culprit. In fact, if you go through the booklets what has been circulated all over about this yoga, this is very clearly said that it's an old Hindu things in fact which is coming up, and the whole credit has been taken up by the Hindu religion itself. This is for them to understand whether it is relating to the Hindu religion or the Indian culture or whatever it is. Now coming back to what is being objected by us, on two counts it is objected to us. Number one, you cannot make it mandatory to anybody. Like even in India, and if Pooja would want to do the thing or she wants to do it, I have absolutely no objection. But
the government says it's not compulsory.
No, but still they have not made any clarification about it. Still you show me one single statement when they say that it's not mandatory.
Just now, Sushma Swaraj said it today.
She said
more than once.
No, she said that particular stanza of the Surya Namaskar, that is not mandatory.
No. She said even the participation in the Yoga Day events is not compulsory.
We have no issue. Number
she
one,
said that more than once.
If it is not a mandatory issue, we have absolutely no problem. Whosoever wants to do it, they can do it. If Sadia wants to do it, nobody can stop it. If Pooja wants to do it, absolutely no problem. But if you make it compulsory, which was originally was the whole idea, that's one part of it. The other problem is that, as Pooja said, perhaps at some other point of time, we may be in a better position to explain him the religion itself, because what Islam says, she has not properly understood. Islam says that the Vahdaniyat, the oneness of the God, is the sole criteria of the whole. That's a ruh, that is a spirit. That I will be only worshipping one God. I'll be worshipping the Creator. I will not be worshipping the creation. Yeah. As far as sun, moon,
but you can say hello.
Hello, I was not disturbing.
You can say hello.
No, please, I was not disturbing you.
Okay, Pooja, let us finish and I'll let you rebut him.
I was not disturbing you, Pooja. When you have raised certain question, please listen to me also. So, as far as Islam is concerned, Islam is very, very particular about it, that there is oneness of God, and I will not bow my head towards anybody else or towards any creation, be it my parents, be it my...
But the point is, even that is not compulsory.
No,
the Surya Namaskar was never compulsory. They haven't done it now. It's from day one. It was never there.
No, it was in Maharashtra. It was made absolutely clear that it is a mandatory. That's a whole issue. In fact, here also in Delhi, they are circulating the booklet as if it's a part of the religion itself. So if it is not mandatory, I have no issue. Number one, you should not force, and you should not make it in the schools that if some student is not coming, then you will penalize.
Let me get a quick response from Pooja, and then I'll come to Sadia on that. Pooja, yes.
Well, I mean, I understand, that again, as I said, religion is open and subject to interpretation. When you say you should not bow to anything, it is the intent that is important. If your intent is to do a series of poses with the intention of good health, then the intent is good health. If the intent is to pray, then that is the intent. So I think, it could be saying that this Namaste position is offensive because it's a Hindu act. It's not. The same thing can be used to clap, for example. The same thing is used in breaststroke in a prostrate manner, and you swim. So it is the intent that is most important. And I think a series of poses in alignment with your breathing, which is beneficial for health and proven world over to be good for health. How can any of it be offensive or anti-religious in any manner?
Okay, Sadia, let's get you into
Well,
it.
actually,
You practice yoga. All
yes,
right?
I
So
do
how
yoga every day.
Yeah.
Me and my son, we have a trainer coming in for years. And I actually grew up with the yoga tradition. My father was a disciple of Dhirendra Brahmachari. And as a teenage girl, I used to go to his ashram, which is near Golda Khana, and years. I mean, Jalniti actually cured my sinus, so I kind of swear by yoga. And you know, I also want to tell you that it's like, I mean, I really want to compliment Pooja because she's really hit the nail on the head. Because it's really about intent. I mean, you know, I absolutely know nothing wrong in doing the Surya Namaskar, because it's about, yes, we Muslims are not allowed to worship anything, like he said, except for the Creator, and everything else is the created. But for God's sake, you know, if I starve the whole day, it's not a roza, it's not a fast. The basic thing in Islam is everything is based on intention. You have to make the intention. So when I do my yoga and my Surya Namaskar, I really sometimes think of the Kaaba, or sometimes think of just light, or my peer, or you know, sometimes whatever, you know, sometimes an image of Medina comes, of the green dome.
So you don't see the Surya Namaskar as being opposed to
I don't think
your
so.
interpretation of religion?
I think it's really, I think it's trivializing the issue of yoga. I think it's, but it also doesn't help when people like, you know, Yogi Adityanath has made something that anybody who doesn't do Surya Namaskar should go and drown. And I also have, you know, a great deal of objection to, you know, to the All India Muslim Law, Personal Law Board, because I really think they're a self-styled body and really have no government standing, and is usually used, it's a very male-dominated body. And yes, they use it, you know, they use pressure
I think
groups.
Absolutely, Sadia, you are not aware of it. Absolutely, you are not aware of it. How many women folk are there? Absolutely, you are not aware.
Maybe
Don't make a wrong statement. Don't make a wrong statement. When you are talking on the media, please don't make a wrong statement.
No, but I think
you're not a government body, right?
Obviously, nobody claims.
According to me, this is a self-styled leadership.
Whether it's self-styled, it's an NGO. That's absolutely, nobody is claiming that it's a government body. But it's a body.
So how do we know it represents what all Muslims in India think?
It doesn't represent for me and a lot of other people, but that's a different issue. Let's not, you know, what I'm trying to say is that I think bodies like this tap on the trust deficit, and you know, tap on the psychosis and the fear psychosis, and sometimes it is misplaced, and we should not put the community in a confrontational mode unnecessarily. We have to focus on development, on jobs, and so many other things.
The point that Sadia also raised, and one of course that created a lot of controversy today, was Yogi Adityanath's comment. Once again, he was making headlines today saying that, you know, those who don't do Surya Namaskar should go and drown in the sea and leave the country. Sushma Swaraj was actually quick to distance herself from those comments, saying that they should not have been made. Don't you think that that adds to the BJP's problems when you're actually trying to do something that, you know, many have actually welcomed? When you have members of parliament using that kind of intemperate language, it backfires on you as well.
And they are in the executive committee of BJP, by the way.
Yeah. Sambit.
Nidhi, you're absolutely right. No one should make such kind of statements which only produces animosity amongst the different segments of the society. You're absolutely right in this. But I'm seeing a bigger picture over here. I still feel very puerile discussing the issue whether yoga should be practiced by all or not. No one has made it compulsory. I feel quite puerile in this discussion because of the very fact that out of the 193 countries, 46 Islamic countries have conceded to the fact that they want to be co-sponsors for International Yoga Day. So why do we make yoga a religious issue? What would be the world thinking about it? Look, this whole resolution as far as International Yoga Day is concerned, it itself is a record-breaking thing in the sense that 177 nations within a short span of 100 days passed this resolution. It was a record time in which the resolution was passed, only meaning that the world wants that this kind of celebration of yoga should take place. And India, from where this yoga originated, is into a debate which is uncalled for. Don't we want to showcase and celebrate something which has originated from this part of the world, and don't we want that our people should stay healthy and we should promote this technique of health all across the world? That is what the government is doing. That is what our Prime Minister did when he went to UN and called for an International Yoga Day. And for God's sake, people within the country should stop fighting for unnecessary reasons.
Well, we have Dr. Ibrahim Mathai, the former Vice Chairman of the State Minority Commission, also joining us tonight from Mumbai. And Dr. Mathai, the question then is that has this argument been taken too far to make a link between religion and yoga? Because today, I mean, everyone's practicing yoga. I was in China recently covering Mr. Modi's visit. Yoga is a huge craze. You should see the number of yoga centers that have cropped up. People don't see a religious connotation to it. You know, it's something that they do for their health. It's something, you know, that they do to tone their bodies for their well-being.
It's also nourishment for the soul and for the mind.
Is it something that, you know, an argument that's been just taken too far?
No, let me tell you, yoga is a personal and individual choice which should not be forcefully imposed. A. Making it mandatory contravenes the letter and spirit of the Constitution. Therefore, I'll tell you personally, I sometimes practice a few of the asanas like breathing exercises like the pranayam, but I'm definitely against the Surya Namaskar and the other asanas which actually has got Hindu connotation. Therefore, it is my choice. So by imposing such a thing, it is you're violating a person's right. I come from Maharashtra. I spoke to a school principal the other day. They've already got notices from the education department that they have to strictly follow that day as International Yoga Day. But my submission here is, when you're talking of moderatism, when a man like Adityanath says that anybody who has objection to Surya Namaskar should drown himself in the sea, how dare he say that? So that itself shows what is the spirit behind this whole thing. I agree with Mr. Kamal Farooqi that it is an individual's choice. So nobody should be forced to do yoga, and anybody who wants to do is most free to do it.